Hey, welcome to John's Fix-It Shop, or Johnny's Fix-It Shop, or whatever you want to call it. I'm in Mexico at our winter spot, and I'm going to show you a couple things about repairing the door handle on a 2008 Toyota Sienna minivan. The reason why I'm making the video is because things are a bit different on my van, and my problem's a little bit bigger than just a handle. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what's going on. So here's the first problem. And the handle broke off, and the reason why the handle broke off is not because it's made of plastic. It broke off because it wouldn't open the door, and I would keep pulling harder and harder, and occasionally the door would open. So eventually I just ripped the handle right off, and then I went inside, which I'm going to do right now, and show you what happened in there. One of the things I needed to show you, because I have two problems. First problem is a broken handle. The second problem is the door will not open, which is why I ripped the handle off. And I believe there's something wrong with the linkage inside. Now, the really big problem is this cover is attached with some snap clips inside, and then two Phillips screws up in here in the door jamb, which you cannot get to. So you now have got a third problem, that you have to get into this area without being able to take those screws out. So what I did was, I was able to take my flathead screwdriver and just work around this and literally pop it open so that I could get into the mechanism in here. So actually I had bent this thing out like this so I can see the mechanisms in here that I get to. Now I've already had this off, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it completely. Then I'll show you the screws on the outside. So the real problem, which I'm already showed you, is up in here. But I needed to show you that in order to get this door open, you have to simply pry this open like this, and it's going to be about that far out right there. Then you grab the handle from here, and then you push on that lever latch from here with the screwdriver like that, and the door comes open. And then you can see over here, come on out, camera lady, you can see out here, this is where the Phillips screws are that you couldn't get to. Once the door's open, take the screws out, and you can get in here. Then you can possibly figure out what's going on. Okay, we're back at it again. The thing on my van that's different from the others that I've seen is, and the others, oh, like right in here, they have this rubber grommet that they pull out, and I don't have that. I've got this little plastic thing, and I'm hoping they can see this. The light's not bright enough, quite bright enough here. I think I'll try and turn on my, I don't know if that turned it on or not. Apparently not. Yeah, it did. Let's see if that helps. So this just pries out like this. Get a screwdriver behind it. It pops right out. And then there's the access hole to the screw that allows you to remove that other trim piece right here that comes off, and you can install the new one. Okay. Slight pause. Okay, so now you can see the Torx head screw up in there. It's not really called a star screw, but that's what people call it. It's a Torx head screw, and here comes a quad up my alley. Oh no, that was a tuna helicopter. And anyway, that is a T30 Torx. So if you don't have one, you'll need to get a T30. And then I'm going to use my impactor to take it out. And there's a retainer clip on it, so that screw cannot fall out, should not fall out, but again, you never know. So now that we did that, we can come out here, pop this off, and again, you might need to get a, oh, there it came, and you can see the screw down in there. I got a problem. I bought my stuff off of Amazon, so here's the new piece, and also I got a white handle, not a pearl white handle, so it doesn't match exactly, but this is just my beater van down in Mexico. I leave it here year round, and when we come back in the winter, we have a vehicle to drive around, and so I just bought a cheap set off of Amazon, and the handle will work. The hole is too big, so I got a couple options. I could put the other one back on. The hole's just a touch smaller. I know it's hard to see, but it took me a while to figure it out. Another thing I can do is my little trick that I do when a screw hole is too big, and that is I take a toothpick and I break it off and I insert it in a hole. Okay, I have to pause. That's my water guy. He's here delivering our water. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little more to you because we have more problems than just the handle breaking. The handle broke because the inner mechanism isn't unlatching the door, and I yanked so hard I ripped the handle off. So here's the deal. I explained earlier we have to pop this cover off because even this handle will not unlock the door. As you can see, it's pulling, but it's not pulling the rear latch cable enough. So if you look up in here, you'll see that rear latch cable. So what you have to do is get a screwdriver, pull this to unlock the front, push that to unlock the back, and there you go. So we're going to have to figure out what the deal is with that, but right now we're just going to go ahead and put the outdoor handle on and make it look pretty again. So now that we got it working, and you know, I just believe in, you can never use too much WD-40, and it can't hurt anything. Honestly, WD-40 is not so much a lubricant as it is a water dispensing type of liquid. The whole reason it was invented was for the military, for the submarines, and they had to come up with a way to lubricate their electronics without cutting the circuitry. And WD stands for water displacement. 40 was the number of trials it took to get them to find the exact recipe to come up with some type of a liquid propellant that would keep their electronics working and not allow them to freeze up. So that's why WD-40 was invented. So I showed you a couple minutes ago how to take this front piece off, but I never really said anything about taking the handle out. But I'm pretty sure if you've broken it, you've already taken it out, because once you break it and it's just like this, it's just dangling, it actually just falls right out. But literally it has to slide forward and then come out like that. So what we're going to do now is we are going to put in the new one. Before we do that, there's the little linkage mechanism up in here. It's kind of difficult to see. I'm going to see if I can show it to you. I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but right up in here, right at the end of my finger, is a little piece of linkage, a little lever. That lever has to go in the front of that door handle that you're pulling on. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and not as easy as I saw the other guys do it on the YouTube videos. So I'm going to show you that it doesn't just pop like they said it did. So you can see the linkage in there. You just take a piece of wire or a long zip tie. You need something that you can really pull on, because it takes quite a bit of force to get this thing up into the door handle. I've actually done it about 3 times now. So first of all, we're going to slide this handle back here in the back. So you put that in, just get it started. Then it'll go in there just like that, and then the wire has to, a couple of videos I watched, the wire was under, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to pull the wire over, but you got to get it back behind the handle. So yes, it's kind of tricky. That came off. We'll put it back on. There we go. And push the handle in. Then you pull on that lever, and hopefully, nope, it didn't slide in. So we'll do it again, but we'll try it from the top this time. Yep, so I got it. So now we'll pull that wire out like so, and we got to get this plastic piece back in here. It's a little trim piece of plastic. Oh, guess what? Didn't stay latched. Okay, we're gonna do it again. We'll try the top again. Nope, top's not working. That time I can see that it's in. Yep, that's in. Okay. Now we'll just put that trim piece back on. Oh, guess what? I can't. Go ahead and stop it. I have to take this off. Alright, so I've tried this a few times. What I just found out works best is if you get a hold of that lever and pull it all the way out with my wire up top like that, put the handle in, and then slide it backwards like that. Now we've got a hold of the lever. I can see it's engaged. I didn't forget to put my trim plastic piece back on. So now I just get the wire out and then readjust my trim plastic piece, and voila. So you can see that it's working while it's pulling the lever, but I have a bad feeling it's not going to disengage the door. So let's go ahead and put that final trim piece on. And I already showed you that the hole was a little too big, so here's my Mr. Fix-It. I take a piece of toothpick, I break it off, I fold it in half, shove it in the hole. I do this all the time in construction, and it holds. Then I put this back in here. Then we take our Torx 30 bit, come around here, Miss Cameraman. Got my lovely wife filming. And then you can see up in there is the hole, the screw back out there. Yep, right there. So we'll get that on here and see if that grabs. It grabbed a little, but it's not holding well. So I'm going to go ahead and take it back off, and I'm going to put the original on because the original is the correct size. And yep, it's a little different. Like I said, I got white, not pearl white. So we'll just pop this back off. And by the way, you do not need an impact driver like I'm using. I just happen to have it. And I don't have a hand Torx driver, so we'll take that one off. And get the old one. And pop the old one in place and put the screw back in. There we go, in, and voila. Take a look from the outside. You have a door handle. Yes, a beautiful pearl white with a white, but you know what? I told you, it's my beater van in Mexico. I don't care, it's paid for itself. At least it looks pretty now. All right, I'm back. After a couple hours of research and more hunting, I've discovered a couple possibilities of what can be wrong with this. The first problem could be that this little plastic connector, which is not supposed to be missing this piece, it can break off completely and then your door won't open at all. So I saw one guy, he did a makeshift one of these to repair it. Then I saw another guy who did a zip tie on this right here, and that solved the problem. However, then he could not lock his door. So that wasn't a great fix. Mine's not completely broken off, as you can see. There's still half of it there. So I just spun it around so it's in a better position. The other thing I saw in a different video was that basically this thing just needed to be lubricated. That even though it appears to be fine and not rusted, it just had some binding. And then the other thing is, I'll take you outside. Anyway, what I did was I took regular oil and I put it in here all around. I also put some WD-40 in there because I like WD-40. It pretty much fixes everything. So I WD-40'd this, and now you can see that the door is opening again, and it even opens with the outside handle. So I'm going to take you outside real quick and show you that the outside handle works. Voila, yay, voila, it works. And then also what needed to have happened back here is this is the back latch, and you can see it's pretty grimy, pretty dirty, but I just hosed it down with WD-40, and that did the trick. There was also the old electronic automated opener broke, which is very common in these things, and I had a couple pieces of cable just dangling, so those could get in the way and come to the door so it wouldn't open. So I cut those off with my grinder. But anyway, we are back in business thanks to WD-40 and a little help from research. So remember, don't ditch it, fix it. Anyway, let's get back to putting it together. Here we go. We got to put the power windows cable back on, then put this in carefully. We got to get all these snap pieces in the right location. Got to close the lock, then this thing will go up in there, and then you can just look behind it and start getting them lined up, and then just pop it in place. And then we take our last two screws. So I'm going to jump out here, let my camera lady finish filming. Whoops, sorry about that. And we put our final two screws in. And lo and behold, we have a operational door again. I'm excited. We'll show you one more time. Oh, shit. Oh, it's locked. It worked. I locked myself out. Forgive me for that curse word in there. Anyway, remember, don't ditch it, fix it if you can. Have a great day.